co-aggressor in this effort, and she cannot escape the consequences. And I can only trust that when this whole thing is over, but we haven't even talked about the gas. I think that she is basically very unpatriotically, and she is very treasonously smashed and scotched, for her government at least, any kind of gas dealings with the Venezuelans. So she cannot escape, and she's died in the wool of co-combatant and complicit in it. And I only hope that that when this is over, that she is dealt with by the appropriate court, so that appropriate court action is taken against her.
That's good.
Right, so we are back. And to you, Trinidad and Tobago, what court action you feel going to take place? What Kublal Singh talking about? This thing's so simple, but hold that thought right there. Let me bring on the guest one time. I mean, I call him the guest, but he's a man need no introduction. I'm bringing on here with me on this platform the fearless warrior. Good night, fearless. Good night. Well, I know you would have listened to the whole scene just now. What is running through your mind at this point in time, fearless?
Well, I didn't get to hear the actual interview with Kublai Singh. I didn't get to hear it because I was backstage now, so I wasn't hearing nothing at all when I came in the backstage. I was trying to be on YouTube, but then I see well you're trying to contact me, so I ended up going backstage. But basically, I could tell you it has always been what I've been saying from the one that Kamla Persad Bissessar must face the International Criminal Court, and she has charges to answer, because at the end of the day, you could say something, you can make a statement without saying a word, and to say to the population, kill them violently, not once, not twice, but on 3 occasions, you have just sent out a command that has been killing 70-something people. And just as what I said last night in terms of the Bangladesh Prime Minister, the President, who is now facing the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, our Prime Minister, Minot, and some of our cabinet members who like to lie and can't tell the truth. That's why they call she's Kamla, not Kamala, no. Kamla, because they feel they can con everybody with their foolishness and not realize that they can face international trouble and also face the death penalty, just as though the person from Bangladesh, as well as any other prime minister that or president that has gone before the International Criminal Court, in which Trinidad and Tobago is a signatory to. America is not a signatory to the International Criminal Court, but Trinidad and Tobago is a signatory to the International Criminal Court. And if Kamla forget that and was he believe it don't have enough Indians inside the International Criminal Court, that's what they was projecting for the Caribbean Court of Justice, then they have a next thing coming.
You know, I mean, why is you talking the fearless and looking through the comments and you know, some of the nonsense, you know. Shakil, Stefan, brother, yeah, Rowley say who kill, and who dead, but come on now, man, use this thing in context. Kamla Persad Bissessar would have opened her mouth and would have said, kill them violently when Donald Trump and them bombing up people within the Pacific Ocean. That we would have told you that here last night. So tune in to this program all the time that we are doing it, so you can get some education. It has no international waters in the Caribbean. That is bullshit. It's either it was in somebody waters. You understand? And we haven't Sean Sobers trying to do some patch up and trying to tell you, the public, that is conjecture and using languages that it is totally not related.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, son. So you
Let me
come here on this chat here. This is not a misleading program, and there are plenty. You know. If you want to willingly walk into manipulation, I could send you a list of programs to listen to. People that don't talk the entire truth because they're afraid. They want to get
mm-hmm.
paid. And when people's talking, you understand, they're cutting off live. And they're telling you, hey, make sure and block this man. They're calling them live on air and saying block him because you know why? The truth is difficult for certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Fearless, where are they saying the truth is difficult?
Well, let me tell you, you see, what they're realizing now is that the leader in more hot water than what she thinks she is. And now that she in more hot water, and they're really seeing where she could face international criminal court, they trying all how to, they feel this is politics in Trinidad. You know. They feel it's like, them little, oh God, we will cost Dr. Rowe, we will cost penalty because, and nothing will come out of this and nothing will come out of that. From the moment you join on an international, you go into the global, and what we call geopolitics. You want to go and sit down with the big boys, but you're a cockroach, but you want to go in the foul party. And then you want to dance with the foul and them and think that you have a foul when you know fully well it is a cockroach. What do you expect to happen? You can't expect that nothing more than you will be the pick. Because at the end of the day, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. It just did break up a little
You
bit. There.
hear me?
Yes, I hear
Right.
you now.
Oh, yeah, at the end, right, at the end of the day, what some of these supporters and them thinking is that this is a normal run of the mill. You cost this one will cost you back, and well, nothing will come out of this and all them things. But when you're dancing with the big boys in the geopolitics, you have to make up your mind that, hey, once you break in international treaties, once you move away from and isolating yourself away from all the Caribbean nations as well as international nations, then you must face consequences as though you have committed an international crime. And what she has done is partake in in taking part in an international crime and killing over. You hear me?
Fellas, your internet breaking up on your side here, boy. Come on.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you now. Hello? And you know, whilst we work on getting back Fearless on Fearless join back. Let me see what could take place with you. I don't know. Are we in here? You stick it on your side. And whilst we wait until Fearless come back, I would like to play a clip here for you to see, for you to understand what we're talking about. Because many of you just get selective amnesia as to what is taking place outside there within the national landscape. God, it has so much a clip here. It has so much a clip. So much a clip. Mm-hmm.
First Peter chapter 3, verses 8 to 12. Finally, all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing, because to this you were called, so that you may inherit a blessing. For whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceitful speech. They must turn from evil and do good. They must seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is our Prime Minister. You know. Run and put the Bible in front of she, quote scriptures, and at the end of the day, just some months after, kill them, bomb them violently. Tens of, I'm not say tens of thousands, a number of people have been struck down. Their life have been snuffed out of them with the go-ahead, a matter of fact, of Kamla Persad Bissessar. That is no joke we telling you here. You know. That is the truth. Anybody search up Kamla Persad Bissessar name now and ask the question for yourself. It's right here in Google. But we getting back, we are fearless here. I mean, fearless, come now, man. Stop trumping out. People want to hear you. People want to hear what you're saying. Let me hear you, fearless.
Who Kamla invited into the country to carry out acts of terror on our next sovereign nation. You know. So I just going by based on what I work with right now, technology giving problems these days in Trinidad. And then only 21st is here in we might have power outage in certain areas. Then he boys all kind of dramatic and city and playing out those. I don't know. It's all kind of things taking place. But no, but really and truly, let me get back to the fundamental thing here. What Kamla Persad Bissessar would have done is send out the signal to she alive or she partner who she backing and supporting, which is Donald Trump, who has not been given the approval from Congress. He has not been given the approval from Congress. Congress take care of these unwanted bombings in the Caribbean, and most of the bombings that took place is basically around the Trinidad and Tobago waters, heading up to Tobago. So most of these things would have taken place in our waters and in the Caribbean waters. And what Kamla Persad Bissessar seems to be shying away from, because she knows that because some of these things would have taken place in our waters, would have taken place in our waters. She's now trying to protect herself by saying, well, hey, I don't know anything about this. I never think, but I'm supporting the drug trade. But they're using the drug trade. They're using this narco drug trade behavior to carry out this sinister plot to overthrow a sitting president in Venezuela. And up to him yesterday and even today, Kamla Persad Bissessar has not even stated, when asked on many occasions, does she recognize the president of Venezuela? And she has boldly said, basically, no, she does not recognize the president, Nicolas Maduro, of Venezuela. So that alone should tell you that she is supporting a regime change.
So what I feel is when she not, what does that signify? Because people must understand the importance of that. When she cannot outrightly say that she recognized Maduro as the prime minister, as the president, sorry. What does that signal, as a matter of fact? What you get from that? You getting that
Well,
she accept the man? Where again?
No, well, based on that, she's saying that she does not accept him. Because remember, when she was in opposition, she said that she was more dealing with talks with the opposition when she was dealing with Guaido. And she was stating basically that she recognized Guaido as the president of Venezuela. Now it turned wrong now that she's now the prime minister. And they asking the same question. She is trying to circumnavigate the whole question by not answering it and clearly stating to the public that she does not doesn't recognize Maduro as the president of Venezuela. And because she doesn't recognize the president of Venezuela, that is why she is joining with the United States of America, but using the so-called SOFA agreement to allow the United States of America to come to Trinidad, because whatever agreement and whatever deal she would have made with the United States of America to invade the people country to do what is known as a regime change in order for probably she to benefit. It is, well, we will have to say, probably for she, the country of Trinidad and Tobago to probably benefit from this so-called dragon gas deal that she once tore up, then said the dragon deal dead, and now when she want to get back in bed to get back that same dragon deal, because she realized that the country, without getting this dragon deal this gas deal, it will also cripple the country, because we don't have a proven gas reserve for another how many years to come. So she basically has set the stage for United States of America, who is the biggest bully in the world, because there is a bully, to go into a sovereign nation, do the regime change in order for, I can't say for we in Trinidad to benefit, but for she and probably the UNC people to probably benefit from whatever arrangement and deal that they make on behalf of so-called Trinidad and Tobago. And I would say so-called Trinidad and Tobago because I never make no arrangement with no Kamla to go and invade nobody's country. So nobody can come and harass me and tell me you is part and parcel of that.
You know,
you understand?
You see what you're saying there? Now, Slimy, I know you're listening. You know what way to do for me? A way to get why America was forcing Guaido on the public and how he signed away the rights. Just now, I'm going to send you the link because this is important that the people of Trinidad and Tobago understand this, and by extension, the Caribbean. Is a serious piece of war take place there. You know. Guaido would have a point, but Slimy organize the thing there. I go down and send you the link just now because I wanted to let the people know because I don't see that they talk about this already. And when they talk about this on this platform, it would have sent shivers down my spine. So what I am going to do now, I'm going to send the links like me away join me. Because the people must understand this here tonight. Because when you're taking information from a drunkard, from somebody who always falling down, and in Roberts, the biggest drunkard in Trinidad and Tobago, when you could take advice from a man that is found all over the place, drunk and falling down, the man has no shame. He doing it in front of his wife and all. She too shame. She instead turning she back on the camera. Big man like you, and then you want to go and try to affect an election and go in on mountain platform. People want to know. Everybody want to know. When you was in room 202, 203, was that cocaine that you was sniffing? People want to know. I want to know. That is what people want to know. That is where you have to come up and talk.
You say something looking like flour.
Before you mount a platform.
Ask him if he wife, if you had to ask him if he form, I don't know if he form a wife or if he die wife, or you had to ask him. We must ask the question if one of his wife or one of the people he was with, if she married to a DJ.
You want to talk that? I'm a matter of fact. Let me get up it here up here. I'm a matter of fact. Let me get up it here up because Anil, we want to know who is this. That is what we want to know. He come in and making him mouth he pronouncement known.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? All over the place and want to go all St. Vincent with your drunk falling down self.
But at least Gonzalez know who is his wife. and he know who is his children. And he'll have to ask the question if he know who is his wife. And if you know
you see the fearless.
No, I see they only want to find out who married and who ain't married, and I want to know who married. So I want to know if he know who is his wife. And then I also want to know from Philip if it is true that the girl who with the hand that missing, if the child which she was carrying, if that is Philip, and I just asked the question, you know. You remember when I'm missing a hand? So I want to know if that child which she was carrying, if that is Philip. Because
I
that's what the public domain. I don't know. I just asked some questions, you know. Yeah, that one.
No. I want to find out that for the longest while. I mean, I see the child had a father. I don't know.
The child have all the hands, right? And the foot?
Yeah, the child have all the hands and foot.
Well, it looking fair?
Well, I don't want to say anything, but I saw something that, I mean, it looked so. It looked so. I just said.
And it has straight yet. I wonder if we could take a face from Philip and put it on the child and see.
Oh God, what's that? Oh, you sweet too bad, sweet too bad. Why I say that? Because there have been a matter of fact. Let me see if I see it. You see, people, I want you to know what we're talking about. We would have seen this clip outside there on the internet. You understand? With Philip, a matter of fact. And, people honestly want to know if that is the truth. People want to know if there is the truth, a matter of fact. I ain't seen it, man. I ain't seen it, boy. I ain't seen it.
You ain't seen it?
Nah, I ain't seen it.
Well, we don't get to see it. Don't get to see it, man. Don't get to see it. Don't worry. Because they're always talking about small pain. They're always talking about things. You know, one of the things that, Let me leave that for another day. Let me leave that for another day because
Where do it, man?
somebody,
Where do it, man? Where do it, man?
no, because somebody who lead in this country, and I'm not saying the Prime Minister, I'm not saying Miss Beckers, because we have different leaders in the House of Representatives. I'm not saying the Tobago, the two Tobago imps who in the thing, but they are also a part of the opposition also. I am just saying a person who is leading this country. I wonder if the husband still killing babies. I wonder if the husband still killing the baby. But that's to tell you how they killing them violently. That's to tell you why they can kill people violently. And they must ask the question, did a certain leader have an abortion when they was younger? And was it for a so-called black man? Let me leave that there. Let me leave that there. Let me leave that there. Not so no, I don't want to throw out too much thing because you see, you gotta go back to the history and the past or when they was in Jamaica and they was taking the sweet wine. But and I don't know if it was sour wine, but it was sweet wine. You know, you mix it with all kind of different milk and honey and all kind of thing, and they couldn't come off of the wine. But nevertheless, let me leave it there. Let
No,
me leave it there.
no, well, right. So why is it leaving it there fearless? What I am going to do, the clip that we would have found on the internet, we just asked the question. I don't know. I want to know if Philip go answer or if Felicia is going to answer. If they go bring a blood paper or a DNA test as to prove, well, this is not so. I mean, there is what we see.
All we want to know is who is the child, who
Well,
is the
right.
parent of this child. We
Well,
know
right.
the mother, but we want to know who is the father.
Well, right. Well, let me play the allegations that we see. But however, we can't prove it. But we want to play the allegations that we see existing within the public domain. And
Yeah.
there's always 2 and 3 sides to a story. I wonder if this one is the real story. Let me play this.
Another junior minister. This is a man that has so little morality that he started a political party, then got one of the members pregnant, then tried to force her to not have the baby. She had to leave the country for peace of mind. But he is no stranger to lies. This is the same man who lost case after case in court for slander and libel. He also refused to pay child support, and as payment she was gifted a position on a state board. Is another junior minister. This is a man that has so little morality that he started a political party, then got one of the members pregnant, then tried to force her to not have the baby. She had to leave the country for peace of mind. But he is no stranger to lies. This is the same man who lost case after case in court for slander and libel. He also refused to pay child support, and as payment she was gifted a position on a state board.
Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension the world. What we would have just played there is a clip that we would have seen from on the internet. Plastered all over social media, people calling me all over the place. They want to know if that is true. Seeing that I was a member of the PEP. And I can tell you today, Trinidad and Tobago, a matter of fact, you feel I should really say, boy? Now, I know nothing about that. I know nothing at all. But if you whistle, I go answer. I don't know nothing about that at all. Yes, I don't know nothing about that at all. Fearless me, no, I don't know nothing about that.
Because let me tell you something, You see a man toting a child and he say that he child, but you never see the woman for the child. You understand? And he's a bag handler. So if he's a bag handler and he toting a child that he never made, then you want to know if that individual was actually pregnant and they wasn't wearing this thing, but it's put in front of them now. the so-called pregnant bag with his inside in front of them to make them look like they're pregnant, but really and truly they don't know if they was pregnant. And
No, well,
now we have seen a little child looking red with a straight hair with blue eyes, and they want to know how that child come about. So we don't know. We don't know.
no, well,
So we don't know if the mother is the mother of the child or the father is the father of the child. We don't know.
no, well, it's a vital question that must be answered. All children have a father. That is the dynamics of the thing. If it have a
Yes.
mother, it have to have a father. It had to have a father. So what taking place there is that is just a mystery child, brother man. That child ain't no father. Fearless. I would have seen this woman all over. I never thought this woman. I never see she with that man. Never. No way. No way. No way. I never see the woman with that man. I tell you, I've been real with you. I never see this girl with a man. I never hear she talk about she fiance or she going to married or she. I never hear nothing about that. It's as if this
Well-
child just come. You understand? Well, I see she with she belly. She was pregnant. I see the belly. I see the belly.
No, you see something resembling a pregnancy.
Okay.
That's way so. Something looking like they was pregnant.
Mm-hmm. All right. I will go with that. If she wasn't pregnant, then she fooled me. You understand? Because she gave.
No, we don't know. Them Nigerians and just put things in front of them to make them look like they're pregnant, but they're not really pregnant. We don't know. You understand? Next thing you know, it was like a surrogate mother kind of scenario where they make them look like they're pregnant, but really and truly they went quite America, get a child, come back to Trinidad and say, look, my daughter here or my son here. You never know.
What?
I tell you, a bag handler do it too, you know. So he I don't know if he was the woman or the man. And those say a child must have a mother and a father. Because a child can have both fathers or two men or two women in life. Because you see the bag handler, he have a child, but you don't know who is the mother of the child. So I don't know if he is the woman and who the he.
Big bad. Yeah.
But this is Trinidad. Everybody is up.
Everybody does that.
But let me get back to the topic. You get the clip? You get the clip by chance?
What clip is that? I play several
The
clips
clip
there.
that- No, the clip where you wanted to get from Slimy.
No, I mean, Slimy would have done a piece of intensive show concerning that whole thing. I was trying to see if I could get him to come on and see if he would have explained that in more in depth, in just playing it from a place of isolation, because I really don't know anything about it. It's only when he would have said it, I would have done a little bit of research, a little bit of research, and from what I would have understand is that when there was a point in time that Venezuela used to run in a particular way, and the oil companies and them was run out of Venezuela. And because of the sanctions that the American placed on Venezuela, they could not have paid back their debts. Right? Guaido was on a board, I think it was the National Energy Board at that point in time. And he would have signed off some of the assets of Venezuela to America. So and they would have recognized him as the president for the signing off to be legal. For the signing off to be legal. Yeah.
No, well, what I understand from the from parts of the historical parts of why Venezuela is this state as it is. Now Venezuela has either 2 or 3 oil refineries in America. They have 2 to 3 oil refineries in America, right? They also have oil refineries in Venezuela. They have the proven largest gas and oil reserve in the world. You have to remember too, the people took their gold and they sent their gold away for people to hold it for them. Now your gold is one of your most precious things that will keep your currency floating at a certain level. When they were tricked and told, bring your gold, and they lose all the gold because when they send back the gold and they couldn't get back the gold, that was one of the aspects. 2, what Venezuela did in the past was nationalize all the oil producing all the companies that was operating. They said, look, we want to nationalize our thing and make it Venezuela. So all the oil companies that was operating in Venezuela was belonging to Venezuela. They wasn't belonging to no foreign country. And nothing is wrong in nationalizing your product. Just like what we did in Trinidad in certain things, we nationalized certain things so that the people of Trinidad and Tobago could own these things. You understand? So what is going on with America is that America is trying, yes, to get access to some of these proven oil reserves, and they are trying to cause instability in the country. Because people like Guaido and them don't represent the poor class of people. They represent what is known as them European, what we call European whites. Because in Venezuela, it have black people in it.
Yeah, it have black
have
people.
dark skin. Let me say, right, it have dark skin people. And Maduro is from the poor class of people. Guaido and them is from what we call the people with color, with money. So like how we just say the Trinidad whites, that is what we name Guaido represents. So because Maduro has the support base of the majority and not the minority, Guaido believes that he has some claim to fame in stating that he won the election and not Nicolas Maduro. So they will try to concoct the whole story to say about the election was rigged, and they get people to say what they want them to say and put out the whole narrative out there in the public domain. But at the end of the day, even if you try to legitimize something that you did was wrong, if you are not the president, then it can't be legitimized. So therefore, the only person that is legitimized right now is
Oh gosh, man, fearless, this internet thing, boy, this internet thing. I know they're trying all kind of thing to stop this program here, but not tonight.
is Maduro.
Come, not tonight. Oh, you ain't stopping this. The only thing rain that stop is football. Is not football, cricket. And we playing in the rain tonight. Because you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, must know that what is taking place here in this country at this point in time is wrong. People suffer in the can't sell where you feel, telling vendors, don't sell again on the side of the road. Come now, man. Come now, man. Come now, man, Trinidad and Tobago. Come, we have a little sticky on your side, boy, fearless. who or you feel is stopping the vendors from making money this Christmas? Who or you feel doing that? The little hustler, the hustler on the road, them way to see with the clear bag on the back. Who you feel suffering when it is the send up alcohol, the send up cigarette? Who you feel hustling? Who you feel suffering? We have to be real and reasonable outside here and stop listening to bullshit from fake commentators that is littered on all sites all over social media. There are many of them outside here that are hungry and don't know where the next dollar coming from, but yet still you support a party that today, no results, none whatsoever, and you're hushing him out. You hushing your mouth because you still feel but it doesn't help you. You're just feeling empowered. It doesn't feel like a slave and you have to come wrong and beg and plead. That is the help. That is enslavement, the throwing a rope and the hooking you with it at the same time. Fearless, I see you come back on. I wanted to gap it here. I'm a boy, Jason. But go ahead, you go ahead. I mean, you have a lot to say. I mean, you was going along with the history just now, there.
Yeah, no, well, you see, every time they talk about these people and them, they try to intercept me live and stuff. So they could get your IP address and try to block you in between and stuff. So I'm going into a different type of zone where they try now, but let me see if they will get you. You're talking about technology versus technology now, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a battle of where I play off here now, but let me see. No, but what I'm saying is that in order to legitimize it, yes, you had to become the president. You had to make somebody the president in order to legitimize wrongdoing that you want them to do. But if somebody is not the recognized president, you can't give them that. You can't give them the that recognition that America wants, and America wants that. And they try to get European Union, the European people involved in it, the European countries in it. They try to get different countries to side with them in America. But now everybody waking up and realizing it's not just about the regime change, to bring stability to Venezuela. People are now waking up to the whole thing that there will be news to topple our government, cause unrest in their country, and still yet they may not even benefit from the resources or the natural resources, and also from the political standpoint that is going to be happening in Venezuela after they don't create this so-called regime change. So that's why I see a number of things are happening, and people are now back, because they're realizing that what America trying to put them in could end up costing them a time in the prison, in the Hague, or possible death, because most of these countries sign on to the ICC and they could be tried in the International Criminal Court. But do you know that America is not part of the International Criminal? They are not a signatory to the International Criminal Court, and therefore cannot be brought before the International Criminal Court. And let me go further to tell you, even though America commits some kind of crime or against humanity, even under the United Nations, do you know that they can't sanction them neither?
What you saying, buddy?
But I'm telling you, if you go and check it out, America cannot even get a sanction from the United Nations. They could do what they want, and nobody can sanction America. But America have the ability to sanction people because why? They are using the US dollar. You see, anytime you're using that US dollar, they have a grip and a hold over you as any part of the world that you operating and functioning under. Go and do research. That's why they could ban. Imagine you going to a meeting in the United Nations and America telling you you can't come to the meeting because you had to get a visa to enter America. So they could ban you, block you, sanction you, and you don't have a right to respond. Go and do research, and they're not even a signatory to many of the same things that we and many of the other countries that they asking to be signatories to. They are not even a signatory to that.
So what you saying in a nutshell, Fearless, is that Donald Trump, let me break it down to street man level. Donald Trump put Kamla Persad Bissessar in a hot seat then.
But she in the hot seat. She in the hot seat because she's stupid. She's the most dotish, arrogant, stupid prime minister that we ever had in Trinidad and Tobago. They used to say a long time that Chambers was duncy. It wasn't that he was dunce, and he wasn't intelligent, he was duncy in terms of what was happening and what was going on. But this woman, she beyond foolish and stupid. She literally taking us down a road of destruction and not realizing that she's been used as a puppet by the Americans in order to carry out their agenda in the Caribbean. So now we in Trinidad had to face the consequences, because let me tell you how this is going to have a lot of ramifications for us and problems for us in the long run. Many of the goods that are selling in Trinidad and Tobago are selling throughout the Caribbean from Trinidad and Tobago. Do you know that plenty of these Caribbean islands that say here what happening? We don't want them, we're not going to buy them goods on the shelf. They could go, they could function in the people country, They could put the things on the shelf. They ain't go tell them nothing, but they will not buy it. And when they don't buy it, it will mean that sales is going to drop for many of these companies who are operating in Trinidad and Tobago, who have their company in Trinidad and Tobago, but exporting the goods to these Caribbean islands, and the people not buying. So therefore, you know what's going to happen? A lot of the business is going to drop, and it's going to drop so significant that they will have to remove the products off the shelves from these Caribbean islands, because they don't want to tell the Caribbean islands don't want to tell them that here what happening. We put in a tariff on your product, or we put in a sanction. We making a statement again without saying a word. We're going to tell the citizens, don't buy your product. And therefore, even when you, the Trinidadian, going across there, everybody will start to watch you as, well, they don't call me Trinidadians already. You understand? So Kamla just confirming what some of us as Trinidadians may be going over there to be doing in these people country. Trick them into fooling them into all different dotations. Because based on what she is doing, she has now placed Trinidad and Tobago in a kind of quagmire situation where nobody wants to do business with Trinidad and Tobago ever again.
And you're saying a quagmire situation? Come now, man.
Well,
come now, man.
You see, no, because you see, some of the Caribbean leaders realize that we have level-headed persons still operating in Trinidad like the opposition leader, Miss Penelope Beckles, and that is why they reached out to Miss Penelope Beckles, and they could have spoken to Miss Penelope Beckles, even though everybody having conference, but they don't want Kamla there. Kamla can't go any people conference. Imagine they had to actually invite Miss Penelope Beckles to the United Nations to talk on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago about climate change. Because they don't want to part because they don't want to part of Kamla and she foolishness. Because they're afraid that when she went up there with her six-man girls prom team, what she would have stated, and she did exactly what I know she would have stated, continue the foolishness by promoting America with the nonsense.
And
so we're in a serious situation whereby Caribbean and Latin America, because Trinidad and Tobago, people don't understand how powerful and strategic Trinidad and Tobago is in the whole Caribbean and Latin America. You know? People don't understand the depths of where we are as a gateway in terms of stability, in terms of climate, because we don't really have hurricanes and those type of things happening here. They will have that more up through the Caribbean. So when you're looking at stability in a nation, you look at all different things, climate change, this, that, the other. Trinidad and Tobago is strategically positioned as like a business hub, more than most of these other Caribbean islands, as well as Central America, and even part of Latin America, because at least we have what is known as a peaceful democracy, that you can have a transition of government and you don't have unrest and all these different things taking place, and a whole set of dramas that will normally go about with like these other islands or these other countries in South America and Central America. But what Kamla now is doing, Kamla trying to play Trump number 2. You know, she playing the shit. She is the shit. So she playing Trump number 2. And she now trying to direct now the whole scene to say, if they don't want to join me, then they're against me. But not realizing that she's hurting the business sector in this country, as well as the confidence that most of these people were placed in Trinidad and Tobago as a peaceful nation. She has now turned us into a war zone. She only likes to fight war. But then you got to remember history. You got to remember history with the people that she's about. And I would say the people, because you got to remember who is be fighting for land and fighting for things that is not their own. You understand? So she is probably one of them.
Well, I don't know what people you talking about, but anyway, I mean, let me don't play hypocrite outside here. Let me don't play hypocrite outside here. We all know who will be fighting for land. But Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension the wider public, before elections in Trinidad, the media, you see, let me tell you the particular reason why I come off that UNC train. And I'm not ashamed to say it. When they keep on asking Kamla Persad Bissessar, where you getting the money from? Where you getting the money? That particularly get me vexed, because when we keep on waiting for an answer up till today, we have not get something that is substantial. It make me feel like if I was in the Men in Black movie, big man. You remember the part where Will that went up on the thing and they asked him, where all are you doing here? You understand? He said, boy, a man jump up and say, you need to be the best, the best, the best, the best of the best. And he said, but you still ain't know. You still ain't know why you're here. But Trinidad, let me bring this to remembrance a little bit. There's a clip here from Will Smith. I hope you remember this part.
Sit down. My name is Zed. You're all here because you're the best of the best.
Marines, Air Force, Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, NYPD. And we're looking for one of you. Just one. What will follow is a series of simple tests for motor skills, concentration, stamina. I see we have a question.
Yeah, I'm sorry, maybe you already answered this, but why exactly are we here?
Son?
Second Lieutenant Jake Jensen, West Point, graduate with honors. We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir.
What's so funny, Edwards?
Your boy Captain America over here. The best of the best of the best, sir. Yeah, with honors. Yeah, he's just really excited and he has no clue why we...
Kamla Persad Bissessar, before election. Just now, let me. Right, fearless. I hear you.
Unmute my mic. I just want to unmute my mic because I was taking the comments on the comments ending what people saying, and somebody was saying what you can't call what Kamla dotish and how you call she that and she's a woman. Let me tell you something. So when you sign up for the job, I didn't see you have doing you a woman, they can't say this and they can't say that about you. Because she's saying you can't say that about you, about the woman. You can't say anything about the woman, but you can say anything about Dr. Rowley. You see how them feminists and them they be jumping in the thing and they don't know what they're getting themselves involved in.
Well,
when you come into the arena, prepare for the battle. Kamla come into the arena, she says she back broad so she could take the lick. I don't know what plenty of them depending the woman for. The woman says she could take lick. I don't know what kind of lick she could take, but she taking lick.
Boy, it are plenty women outside here that agree with what we say here this evening. And
yeah,
it still has some dotish woman that we have to call out. You understand? Look at this one here. This is Felicia Thomas, one of the most dotish women that it have in Trinidad, and I make no apology for it. You know what it is called? She in Wassa? Fearless. You know what it is called? She's Sasha Stupid.
Sasha Stupid?
Sasha Stupid.
But stupid still better word than that, yes? That'll get a good name for that woman.
Hey, let me play the tape so I can. Let me play that tape so yeah, public.
No, but before you play the tape, you know it have this new thing now. Right? You know it have this new thing now. I don't know, but it have this new thing now where people just having, I don't know, they come out with this thing with the licking Bamsi. During sexual orientation, during the sexual act, the licking Bamsi. Women licking man Bamsi and all them different things. I don't know if she's one of those people. I don't know if she's a lick Bamsi, but I don't know. It can't be that you're stupid. You had to be licking a Bamsi. And who Bamsi she might be licking, I don't know. I don't know if it's the leader Bamsi, or who Bamsi, but I don't know.
Oh
I don't know.
yes. Oh. The leader who, boy? The leader who? The leader what?
The leader of forget country study party.
Oh, right. That leader. Like
Yeah,
to
that leader.
like to quote
But that
Bible.
old Bamsi should be licking there, boy.
If she licking it.
In fact, it might not know Bamsi there, no, it's just flat.
Feel Don't do about that. 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 Let me
You
play.
know it is for she to be looking at a Bamsi and trying to lick the Bamsi, but she only said too hard, too hard.
And watch well. Let me play. Let me show you how stupid this girl that I call Felicia is, that boy. Totish.
Played.
Take her. She gets sell her dream. She gets sell her dream, and she sell the members her dream, and they believe in the same dream that I see.
Threatened over 500 jobs in HGC. That is how they take care of you. Brothers and sisters, there is sun on the horizon.
Fearless, I know it. She said over 3,000, over 500 jobs threatening the AGC. And the reason why I play that tape there is for you to see how hypocrite this girl is and the government as well. Watch how much people go home from CPEP, URP, forestry. And just the other day, a couple of people went through AGC. And you know, I was told concerning that was a ploy to mask this revelation, this Bussamark thing that Alan Roberts would have done in the public domain by falsely, let me not say falsely, by illegally obtaining the paperwork and place it within the public domain concerning Ralph Gonzalez. And citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, we must advocate for the dismissal of Anil Roberts. That is what we must advocate for. Because we don't know after this point how much papers, if he vex or if somebody come out and talk out against Kamla Persad Bissessar, we don't know how much papers this man is going to interfere with and put out in the public domain and say he find it in a garbage bin. That is what we up against. That is how nasty this government is. Because you didn't just take an ordinary man papers in it. You take the prime minister of a country papers. Like to show you how bold-faced this man is and how wicked the UNC is. Because at the end of the day, Kamla Persad Bissessar endorses action like that by coming within the public domain and saying, if they want us to take us to court, let her go ahead. So she implicates herself too in the action of Anil Roberts by saying if the Prime Minister want to take us to court.
Yeah.
She didn't say Anil Roberts, she said us. And if that is the case, Trinidad and Tobago, we must reach that point that if legal action, because we know it coming in for Anil, that revelation would have taken place on the Douglas Doubles and Coffee platform, Douglas Politics. It didn't take place on no government platform. Anil Roberts must foot the bill of that entire legal argument when it comes.
And I'm glad, and let me tell you what's the most dangerous part about this thing also. Suppose Anil Roberts, who works in the Ministry of AGC, who works in the Ministry of Housing, decides to get up a morning and make your file disappear in a second. And you see people come by your door to put you out of your house. let me tell you something, eh? People don't know how dangerous this thing is. Because if you don't keep your receipts, they know something I don't pay it. I know that I put on the receipt now of what everything gone missing and they sweeping out and they sweep out and they clean out the house every year for Christmas. Suppose you might be the unlucky person that he vexed with you, Renison, and decide, you know what? Renison don't have. Let me see if you bring any documents to show that he legitimately get a house from the AGC. And you see people coming and putting up notice on your door and all these different things to embarrass you. To embarrass you, in the public domain, because why? You talking out against Kamla and this government. Suppose now he does that and you can't bring your documentation, because why? You might have children, they might rip up the document, they might rip up the receipt, you might have the document and don't have the receipt. How you proving that you is actually a legitimate HDC owner?
You see, by fearless, people don't understand how serious that is, isn't it?
This man could get up in the morning and say, I don't like this one, I don't like that one, I don't like this one. And he come in after each Tom, Dick, and Harry. He will go after anybody. And if he feel that, okay, you know, I will do it and I'll get away with it once, I get away with it twice, he will do it again and he will continue to do it again and again, because why? They tell themselves they have all the lawyers on them. So let's say, they tell themselves they have all the lawyers and we will go to court. And by tying you up in the court very soon, by tying you up in the court, you are to keep defending what you know is your right. So you know in a court defending your right when you know you're right, you know. But they know that they commit an illegal act and you have to defend your rights against somebody who actually committed a crime against you.
And
now you tell me if that could ever be right.
That could never be right. And what you are saying to it, the people in Trinidad and Tobago is so gullible. Hear what they're saying, boy, let Ralph answer this, and Annie Roberts is being left to do what he wants in a ministry. So at the end of the day, if according to what you said, just to pong it in a little more. If this man get up in the morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and say, hey, let's have a house from AGC. He done pay off his house long time. He might not have them papers. Let me make it disappear and the send bailiff like we do raw talk. The send bailiff and put you out of the place and say you take that illegally. So when a man is abusing his office, why is he in government? That is how serious it is. And I bet you, I'm fearless, that a lot of papers in plenty other ministry go missing just now.
Now just go missing. They might come out in the public domain because somebody will say, yeah, put us out there, and they will send it out to the people who are paying the money to so-called Buster Mark. They will be paying it out there. That's why you see me, I just always tell people, I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide, and that's why I just come out and make it publicly clear. But you see, those who just want to play, I don't want listen to know that I have a house now, and I don't want listen to know I had a contract, and I don't want this one. And when they play them kind of games, and they come after you, and they start to jam you, you know what you start to say? But what it's political victimization. Come out and let the people know that, hey, this is what you have, this is the situation, regardless of what, and defend yourself. Because at the end of the day, by not talking out for your rights, you are allowing Annie Roberts and many of them in the ministry and in this government to do what they want, say what they want, and get away with it, because they tell themselves, we are lawyers, we are the court, and we go tie them up for the next 5, 10 years. So imagine, let me say, you would have called Venison to prove that you actually is the owner and you have full rights to this house. So for 5 years, you going to court under this UNC oppressive government. And then now, in 2030 or 2031, you win your case. The UNC not in office. Who then have to pay that money? Who will pay the money? The PNM. Because the PNM coming back into office. So when the PNM had to pay back that money now. Because of what UNC did. Your whole name, your whole reputation, everything about you going down the drain. Because why? A delinquent. And I have to call Annie Roberts a delinquent.
No, look him there. He's a drunkard too. Watch him. He's not just a delinquent, he's a drunkard. Yes, I say it. And our evidence to show this man is a drunkard.
But you right.
and he trying to put his foot in Ralph Gonzalez's shoes. Boy, yes, boy. Miss me with that nonsense, eh? Go ahead,
hold on a bit, eh? Just give me a minute. Let me come back. Hold on a bit.
Watch this man now, boy. Watch this drunkard they call Arnold Roberts. Watch him. Look at him. And when you're done, Arnold Roberts, yeah, tell him that I know that. Yeah. Drunk falling down all over the place, but interfering with people documents. And this must be something that is dealt with within the public. I mean, the Prime Minister have to say something about it. Because at the end of the day, you could wake up a morning and your paper could go missing. Get up a evening, papers gone missing. Whether it be AGC house, whether it be government payment, whether it be files. Listen, how can we trust this government? How?
Territory is off limits to them. If Mr. Cabello's comments are a veiled threat to enter TNT territory, they should reconsider any such intention. The fact is that as a responsible government, we have to take all threats against any incursion into our territory seriously. I will speak to Minister of Defense and the Attorney General to seek advice on protections for our Coast Guard, to use deadly force on any unidentified vessel entering TT waters from Venezuela, smuggling military able-bodied men and women. TNT is off limits to them. Following comments from Maduro and Cabellos, we now have to take seriously the threat by that government sending their agents into our country to commit acts that can be adverse to our own welfare. We will also have to take a look at how we go forward with Venezuelan migrants here who are military aged and able-bodied men and women. We have to take this threat seriously now. They have done this before. They made similar propaganda comments about Guyana and Colombia whenever they had interior political problems or elections, and then they engaged in border skirmishes with violence. We will take these threats very seriously. I want to tell further TNT drug and human traffickers, smugglers, who are masquerading as fishermen. If you enter Venice waters to do your illegal acts and you're caught by Venice authorities, you are on your own. I repeat, you are on your own. No amount of family crying on Ian's programs will cause us to intervene. Mr. Cabello.
That is our Prime Minister, Kamla Persad Bissessar. The biggest fake that it have in this country. Somebody that delivers speeches that gaslight the entire population of Trinidad and Tobago to the point of no return. A person that said to you, that said to me, that we care about you. When we win, everybody win. We understand your plight. That is how sick this person is in a. Underneath a year, you just fire 20,000 people just so. Among platforms, oh, we love you. Gone all down, Faizabad, and light down there. In the guise of, and among platforms there, Clyde Elder, Kiza, and the stinking union, the OWT union, that sell out Trinidad and Tobago. Pipe it out.
Yep.
And saying, we love you. We love you. But yet, yo, nasty and stink this leader is now, boy. Yo, sick Kamla Persad Bissessar is now, boy. And when you done, you had the audacity to come to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and say, boy, continue to support me and their supporters, boy. Oh God. Hear a speech by Kamla now, boy. Hear a speech now, boy. Was led up on a stage. We understand you. I suffer just like you. But yet still, you condemn all the fishermen and them, and we go play some tape with the fishermen and them just now. I'm fed up. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago, boy, oh, you had to wake up, boy. Oh, you had to smell the coffee. This man is out of hand. Anil Roberts.
And I'll tell you why I can do this. Because I'm not the 1%. I am one of you. I am one of you. I have heard you talk about myself. I have come just like you from the working class. And sometimes no working class because you have no job. I understand what it is. Because I've been there, done that. I've been there with my family, with my parents, like yours who worked really hard. I give you that commitment. If you work like me, if you take my hand and we walk together, I will keep my commitment to the workers of the I will do it. But one hand doesn't clap. We cannot say we will take you forward when you do not want to go forward and you want to operate to stay backward. What do we always say in the labor movement? Forward ever! Forward ever! Forward ever! Backward never! Never, never! So take my hand together. Let us rebuild this country.
As days turn into weeks since CPEP workers last used their tools following the program's shutdown, the evidence of their absence in communities continue to grow.
It would be resting, CPEP used to clean it.
In Barataria, San Juan, coconut vendor Silal Ramcharan expressed concern about the overgrown grass along the main road.
All the by the pavement, I think we didn't see nobody cleaning up. I had to people to clean up in front, I think, sometimes. But when people was doing it, I didn't have to do anything.
He took CNC3 News to a drain at the side of his house, which he admitted needed cleaning before the program stopped. but said the workers used to maintain its surroundings. Lower down the road, Baba Ganesh Emil said government needs to find a solution to keep the environment clean.
Well-known union leader, Mr. Clyde Elder, comes publicly as a minister in a government and says that the workers are collateral damage. Hard luck.
But at this point in time, unfortunately, because of what we had, you have become now collateral damage, but we are going to speak about them.
Mr. Clyde Elder comes publicly as a minister in a government and says that the workers are collateral damage. Hard luck.
Former CPAP workers say they remain in limbo following the termination of over 300 contracts.
Landlord coming by the door. Landlord knocking on your door. You can't afford to pay rent. They put in all your stuff at the side of the road. That is embarrassment.
They say that will be hard, but when? If they could tell me again 1 month salary, after that 1 month salary, what you'll be telling me again?
I want to know when will we be getting back the CPAP work and how soon and how sure this is for us, because you know.
This blame of parents for the scourge of crime. I could have never thought, not for a moment, that when you elect a government and you pay your taxes, that somehow it would become unreasonable to expect them to secure your life and your property. I would have thought that your security was the primary reason for the need of a government. Here what is also true, that there is a correlation between poverty and crime. Therefore, if the government wants to impact crime, it must treat with working class issues, comrade. It must ensure that working class parents have good paying jobs. Do you agree? It must ensure that working class parents could afford a home in order to provide a shelter for their families. Do you agree, comrade? It must ensure working class parents can put food on the table. Do you agree, comrades? It must ensure that working class parents' salaries are kept in step with inflation so that they can maintain their standard of living. Do you agree, comrades? It must ensure that parents have permanent jobs to enable them to plan and organize their lives. Do you agree, comrades? It must ensure that working class parents could provide a nurturing environment with support structures such as school supervision, after school supervision, babysitters, lessons, to create an enabling environment for their children to benefit from schooling. Do you agree, comrades? In short, comrades, government's policies can impact the ability of parents to adequately take care of their family. Where government fails, family fails. Let me repeat.
Former CPAP workers say they remain in limbo following the termination of over 300 contracts.
Now, or you can say what you want at the end of the day. You know? Or you can try to mask and use euphemisms on every state platforms. Pay media personnel, pay social media personnel to pilot stories that will make the UNC look good, or I can continue to do that. But the truth, as I say, and I will continue to say, the truth have endurance, but the lie has speed. What is taking place now is an attack on the citizenry of Trinidad and Tobago, not PLM. Because at the end of the day, you're asking us to fight a war as a country. You ain't seen PNM now. You ain't saying, nah, he's a PNM, you go keep you out of the war. You want people to fight. Or you want people to back on you. But yet still you're victimizing a large proportion of Trinidad and Tobago, all because they have on red jersey, and all because they say they're not taking what this government is doing, and many of you are continuing to stand with a government that is breaking the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It's breaking their neighbor. When you walk down on the side of the road, there's bush all over. And you see a government that is endorsing the killings of people on the high sea without the due process of law. Kill. Reckless statement. Bomb them violently. And when you're done, you're having a minister that is interfering with things that do not concern him. Yes, send the file. If you find something wrong there, send it to the police. You can't, at the end of the day, want to do what you put people in danger. All because of fame. You drunkard, Allen Roberts. Prime Minister lied to us. Look at she. Look at she.
Because I'm not the 1%. I am one of you. I am one of you. I have heard you talk about myself. I have come just like you from the working class. And sometimes no working class because you have no job. I understand what it is. Because I've been there, done that. I've been there with my family, with my parents. Like yours who work really hard. I give you that commitment, if you work with me, if you take my hand and we walk together, I will keep my commitment to the workers. I will do it. But one hand doesn't clap. We cannot say we will take you forward when you do not want to go forward and you want to operate to stay backward. What do we always say in the labor movement? Forward ever! Forward ever! Forward ever! Backward never! Never, never! So take my hand together! Let us rebuild this country!
And you see Trinidad and Tobago. You see that this woman understand people. This woman really going on for. The people of Trinidad and Tobago have been crying out. While you saying bomb them violently in the high seas, body washing up on shores. People suffering within your own country. You saying that you understand people. You come from the ground, you hustle. But you never hear this, hear the cries. Hear the cries.
Right now, I don't know what's going on. We can't even walk with the war we're going on. Better bring long meeting and secure it. So we need to bring long minute to secure it. You can't even walk. You looking for some guy, I don't know the government, some kind of compensation for we fishermen. So we can't work. Right now, I don't know what's going on. We can't even walk with the war we're going on. Better bring long meeting and secure it. So we need to bring long to secure it. You can't even walk. You looking for some guy, I don't know the government, some kind of some sort of compensation for we fishermen. So we can't work.
TNT territory is off limits to them. If Mr. Cabello's comments are a veiled threat to enter TNT territory, they should reconsider any such intention. The fact is that as a responsible government, we have to take all threats against any incursion into our territory seriously. I will speak to Minister of Defense and Attorney General to seek advice on protections for our Coast Guard, to use deadly force on any unidentified vessel entering TT waters from Venezuela. Smuggling military able-bodied men and women, TNT is off limits to them. Following comments from Maduro and Cabellos, we now have to take seriously the threat by that government sending their agents into our country to commit acts that can be adverse to our own welfare. We will also have to take a look at how we go forward with Venezuelan migrants here who are military aged and able-bodied men and women. We have to take this threat seriously now. They have done this before. They made similar propaganda comments about Guyana and Colombia whenever they had interior political problems or elections, and then they engaged in border skirmishes with violence. We will take these threats very seriously. I want to tell further TNT drug and human traffickers, smugglers, who are masquerading as fishermen. If you enter Venice waters to do your illegal acts and you're caught by Venice authorities, you are on your own. I repeat, you are on your own. No amount of family crying on Ian's programs will cause us to intervene. Mr. Cabello.
That the woman that says she understands this. That is the lady that would have labeled the entire fishing population of Trinidad and Tobago as human traffickers, drug smugglers. What about the people that brave the high seas? To earn an honest dollar. And I know some of you fanatics outside here are going to say, boy, all them fishermen. It's drug lord. I know that you all I want to say. And what you say that the people that ought to know better. Imagine fishermen. They don't have a certain fishermen at this point in time because this administration in power don't mind saying that all fishermen is drug lords, human traffickers and smugglers. Some of you don't mind saying that because all your government is in power. The length that some of us is going to go. The proper government, other than allowing the government to answer. This man here, a matter of fact, I know how to think it. Right, imagine this man here. What you saying? He's a drug lord. Trinidad and Tobago, it's time to wake up. And again, to the many of you just had the phone lines that can't open the phone lines. And Alvin Campbell would have said something. What did Elder promise to do for the people of Labre? He turned around and stabbed them in the back. All what he do in areas is bring a backhoe and start to clear a drain in a jacket and tie for 1 hour. Yes, people, the program live. Now it's about 10 to 13 p.m. and no fearless, just Again, we are going to have him here from time to time. So those that haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the network. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. The platform is monetized. Like, share, subscribe. Because it's the only way we could go forward here. Like, share, subscribe. That we will always bring you commentary like this. Slimy is going to come again. Then we will have different segments. I ain't ready to bust the mark yet, but there are a lot of people is going to join us here on this platform, where we will be emulating only truth. That is all. And with that, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, thanks for joining me here tonight, and at this point in time, I have to take my leave. So join us here again tomorrow. The topic tomorrow. A matter of fact, subscribe to the platform, you will see, it will show up on your notification. This woman, everybody. What a liar.
In Caracas, the Venezuelan government is yet to react to the announcement late on Thursday night that the U.S. Department of War is renaming the deployment of aircraft and warships in the southern Caribbean as a new Operation Southern Spear. That's the name that the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, gave to this deployment that in theory allegedly is meant to stem drug trafficking coming out of Venezuela. But when we spoke with the Venezuelan president earlier on Thursday, he had a different message to send to Donald Trump.
We're focused on the people, governing with peace, with these young people building. Unite for the peace of the continent. No more endless wars, no more unjust wars, no more Libya, no more Afghanistan. My message is yes, peace. Yes, peace.
Now those words are consistent with previous messages that Maduro had given to the press and especially here on Venezuelan television, trying to mediate and trying to reach a negotiation.
I'm speaking to Dr. Wayne Kubla-Singh, and I want to ask him, what do you think is Kamla Persad Bissessar expectation of the United States military aggression against Venezuela?
Well, this is a brutal act of terrorism. It tears a huge portion of the American Navy, very sophisticated satellite warfare, naval warfare, drones, tomahawks. It's a very sophisticated imperialistic mission. And we've seen this before. We've seen this since 1492. That's when they used to build palisades and fire cannons from them and so on. This is basically the same thing. And so you would have thought that our people, prime ministers, attorneys, she's a prime minister, she's an attorney, she's well read, would have recognized this as an imperialist act, posture. Simple. Imperialism, bad. Anti-imperialism, good. That's a lesson for history as you study Indian history, African history, Latin American history, New World history as a whole, Australian history, Vietnam history, Far East history, Middle East, all the histories. That's what it tells us. Imperialism is bad. Anti-imperialism is good. So how come they cannot recognize that? How come they haven't seen that? And why are they so easily abiding by the expectations and the mandates of imperialism? So that's the first question you have to ask. What's wrong with the people? Something is radically wrong with them if they're able to be so either willingly ignorant or duped by imperialism. The regime change war. We've seen it recently in Latin America, we've seen it in the Middle East, we've seen it in Libya, in Syria. So there's no doubt about it. It's basically America doesn't want to trade on equal terms, she wants to grab, she wants to pillage. That's basically European history. That's how they garner much of their wealth. And the military expenditure is being funded by the American people to the benefit of the American superclasses, what they call the 1%. So that's the first thing. I think we have to question, not America. We know what America's playbook is. We have to question our own people. How could a whole party, a whole confederation of attorneys surrounding the Prime Minister, Attorney General, fall for this or willingly oblige this kind of action? Now, the Prime Minister seems to want to escape liability in this, but she cannot escape, in my view, because she is the first person, even before the elections, to call Maduro a narcotics agent, narcotics terrorist, narcotics trader, without any kind of evidence. She's a senior counsel. So she has been basically parroting Washington podium rhetoric. So she's part of the organized plan for this action. She can't escape it. She's the one who, when the Americans came here initially with their hardware and some military hardware, she supported it. She said she supports it. She knew what the equipment was. She had advisors. She supported it. She called the Venezuelan revolution narco-terrorist revolution. So she was basically obeying the American playbook. When about 90 or 70 something people now were being killed through extrajudicial murder, she supports that. She said, kill them. Yeah. And now we're seeing helicopters in India flying over Sky Night, all over the place. Blanchishes, Diego Martin, Mayaro. And she's saying, well, you know, we're not going to use our land space or land or Trinidad and Tobago to attack the Venezuelan people. But she's already in it. Modern warfare is satellite warfare. The Americans need a place to put satellites because they have a gentleman somewhere or a group of people somewhere in the Pentagon. And then there's also, it's a triangular kind of warfare. There's somebody in Venezuela, the CIA, who's giving them information, signal information, and the other warships, and they need to put satellites. So once you put satellites in Trinidad and Tobago, once you establish a signals base in Trinidad and Tobago, once you have aircraft flying to get intelligence in Tobago, once you are loading the effort, and once you are, it is not coincidental, this is not happening coincidentally. Is it coincidental that we have American troops at this time, American warships visiting us at this time? It's not. You're already part of it. So the British and MI6 are very smart. They pull out of this. They say we're not giving any intelligence anymore to the Americans because they knew this was an extraditional illegal killing. This was murder. They're not going to participate in that. The president of Colombia also pulled out. In fact, he's taking a case of one of the persons Colombian killed in this operation by the Americans to the international courts. The Dutch have pulled out of it. No longer any sharing intelligence with the United States. So it's very difficult for the Prime Minister to pull out herself, to exculpate herself. She's a part of it. She's deeply ingrained in it. She's colored in ink in it. She's stamped in it. She's no way of escaping it. She is a co-combatant. She's a co-participant. And she's a co-aggressor in this effort. And she cannot escape the consequences. And I can only trust that when this whole thing is over, but we haven't even talked about the gas, I think that she is basically very unpatriotically, and she is very treasonously smashed and scotched, for her government at least, any kind of gas dealings with the Venezuelans. So she cannot escape, and she's died in the wool of co-combatant. And complicit in it, and I only hope that that when this is over, that she is dealt with by the appropriate court, so that appropriate court action is taken against her.
That's good.
Of her family, former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has now been sentenced to death. A court in Dhaka has found the leader guilty of crimes against humanity linked to the violent crackdown on protesters during the 2024 July movement.
We have decided to inflict her with only one sentence, that is sentence of death. It is hereby ordered that accused Sheikh Hasina be found guilty on 3 counts under charge 1. Count number 1, incitement. Count number 2, order to kill. Count number 3, inaction to prevent the atrocities and failing to take punitive actions against the perpetrators.
And following the announcement, Bangladesh's interim government issued a statement calling the ruling a historic verdict. The statement urged people across the country to remain calm, avoid unrest, respect the rule of law. Sheikh Hasina, who fled to India after massive unrest led to her ouster, was convicted of ordering attacks on demonstrators, failing to protect civilians and ignoring repeated summons. The tribunal said her absence from the trial suggested guilt. According to the International Crimes Tribunal there, Hasina incited violence, issued orders that led to the killing of protesters, and allowed the use of excessive force on student-led demonstrations. The court held her responsible for the deadly response to the anti-quota protests. The unrest that escalated after her controversial comment questioning whether quota benefits should go to, quote-unquote, the grandchildren of Razakars. In fact, Sheikh Hasina has rejected the verdict outright, calling it politically motivated. An Awami League statement quoted her as saying, the case was driven by personal pursuit of revenge against a democratically elected government. She says she was denied a fair chance to defend herself, claiming that she never received due legal process. She has also questioned the credibility of the tribunal itself, saying that there is nothing international about the International Crimes Tribunal in the country, and that the guilty verdict was, quote unquote, a foregone conclusion. Sheikh Hasina, who is one of the region's most influential political figures, served multiple terms as Prime Minister and played a central role in shaping modern Bangladesh, but her tenure was also marked by accusations of heavy-handed governance, a shrinking democratic space, and intensive crackdowns on opposition forces. Now, her remarks came during the protest there, and the subsequent violent response eventually ignited that movement that led to her removal from office. This was in August 2024. Hasina has been living in self-imposed exile in India since then, after the student protesters forced her and her Awami League political party out of power. Dhaka has formally asked New Delhi to hand over Sheikh Hasina. In fact, the UNIS government sent the request citing the existing extradition agreements between the two countries. Officials in Dhaka said giving shelter to convicted leaders would be seen as an unfriendly act and a violation of treaty obligations. The verdict against her is now being seen as a potential political opening for Jamaat-e-Islami, a group that was heavily targeted under Sheikh Hasina's rule. And with the former Prime Minister out of the picture and the Awami League weakened, Jamaat-e-Islami appears to be repositioning itself in Bangladesh's politics.
Maybe we should ban carnival altogether because it's a noisy thing. Follow the command, video in caption. So, follow me here and please watch till the end before you comment. The National Stadium is not a sporting facility. Marvin Lee Stadium is not a sporting facility. The Oval is not a sporting facility. The last time I checked, they were. And all those places hold feds. And all those places have people living around too. So the people from Macoya, Port of Spain and Woodbrook and they don't suffer from noise pollution. I want to know, accent, Lamano. Carnival is our culture. This is what brings in tourists from all over the globe. They come to Trinidad Carnival because we are the mother of Carnival. When I used to play mass, I remember being stuck in the street sometimes for hours because something happened and the truck can't move, right? And the music, they used to play it because the masqueraders had to dance, right? And that music would play for hours, stand still, banging and vibrating people's house and thing, right? That is not a problem. So why don't they have a problem? Of course, they stage many times in the National Stadium a sporting event, sporting place, right? It cannot be for one and not be for all. It have vehicles that is be passing, cars and even bicycle with big speaker box. You ever see a bicycle with two big speaker box? Trust me, I have. And boom, 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 passing. And this is not my street because I live in a dead end. This is the street, the same street that I tell you the noise pollution is come from almost 7 days a week. What about bars? As said in the comment, every weekend people live with it. But this is Trinidad and this is our society, so we learn to cope and deal with things. You're going to stop everybody from playing music? Make it make sense. Every problem have a solution, as I said. Headphones, noise cancelling headphones, so who could tolerate that, like autistic kids especially, Oh, talking about that, Valsin, Cipriani Labour College, right outside of Valsin. Jamboree Park, right outside of Valsin. Lots of residential areas. So if you ban one, I think ban all. I love you, Madam PM, but this is wrong. I stick to my opinion.
The past is in your head, but the future is in your hands. You can either keep whining and be a pathetic loser, or you can be a G and become the most successful person your bloodline has ever seen. Don't call me lucky. I failed